right now.
Sirens and alarms in Israel tonight warning potentially more missiles from Iran could be on the way. However, President Trump said a complete and total ceasefire had been reached between the two nations. Iran echoing that notion just a short time later, saying it would halt its military response if Israel ends its strikes. This after the Iranian retaliatory attacks on a U.S. military base in Qatar that houses around 10,000 troops. Those missiles launched in response to airstrikes ordered by President Trump on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities on Saturday. No deaths or injuries have been reported in the attacks. Earlier in the day, before the president took to Truth Social, saying a ceasefire had been reached, Qatari military officials said its air defenses had intercepted several missiles fired by Iran. We spoke with retired Air Force veteran Rico Lane, who worked at that base. He says it's a large operation that sees a lot of traffic.
I would definitely say it's one of, I think they have over like 10,000 troops that they host out there. And again, not only do you have the permanent party that's there, you have a bunch of people coming in and out.
We know many in San Antonio are asking if the city has done anything here at home in response to the conflict overseas. Bexar County Commissioner Grant Moody, who was recently called back into active duty, had this to say about the recent exchange, saying, quote, CENTCOM's Operation Midnight Hammer was a huge success marked by tactical surprise and exceptional execution by our forces and military leadership. Our focus now shifts to force protection and ensuring readiness for whatever the coming week may bring, end quote. The San Antonio Police Department said, quote, in response to recent events, SAPD has increased police presence around Jewish facilities throughout the city as a precautionary measure to ensure the safety of the community. As always, we want to remind the public that if they see something, say something, end quote. This is a story that is going to continue to evolve by the hour, and for the very latest, you can scan the QR code on your screen or head to KSAT.com and look for this article on the homepage. New on the Nightbeat, friends and family gathering tonight to remember 32-year-old Alan Rockmore, the young man who was shot and killed outside a popular string of downtown bars over the weekend. It happened around 2:30 in the morning on Saturday in a parking lot near the bars on North Alamo Street. This is close to Broadway and Brooklyn Avenue. San Antonio police say an argument led to Rockmore getting shot. The person who pulled the trigger has not yet been found. Portions of Commerce Street are covered with candles. This is how family and friends are remembering Jordan Bocanegra. They say he was the 19-year-old shot and killed yesterday on the east side. The night team's Avery Everett spoke to his family, who tells us this shooting should have never happened.
I knew in my heart that he was gone. I still keep thinking like I'm gonna wake up from this dream.
An East Side street corner tonight is marked with a clear message, one of love and one of loss. This is where family and friends are saying their final goodbye to Jordan Bocanegra.
He's not here physically, but he's here spiritually, and with that, I feel like it's helping us.
Jordan Bocanegra's family says he was the 19-year-old man shot and killed on Sunday morning.
How did you hear about what happened?
We're real close. We're like family with the corner store that he was putting gas at.
His family says Jordan was getting ready to leave San Antonio. He went to go get gas at Stanley's, and that's when he was shot inside of his car. They say he drove about a block before he crashed right here on Commerce Street. Hours after the shooting, San Antonio police say they tracked the suspect to this house on Potomac Street. It took half a day, tactical gear, and tear gas for 29-year-old Mark Criollo to be taken into custody. Now he's in jail and facing a murder charge.
I don't even have words, just 14 years of ongoing drama with him.
Jordan's mom, Tanya, says they used to live next to Criollo and had problems with his family for years.
My kids were kids and he's a man.
It doesn't feel real.
Jordan's family says they're holding on to the memories they still have.
He just always wanted to be around his family, his brothers, his siblings, his friends from San Antonio.
How would you describe Jordan to someone who didn't get the chance to meet him?
Such a loving person.
He was just so goofy.
Videos show his humor and photos show his heart. As this family tries to find closure, they say they're holding on to one another.
He was very loving, caring, very respectful young man, and he had a lot to give.
Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
His family has identified Jordan as the victim, but we're still waiting on the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office to release a name and cause and manner of death. When we have those updates, we'll bring them to you. Now to a developing story. We're working to get more information about a traffic incident on I-10 and Crossroads. You can see several lanes blocked off. This is video from one of our TransGuide cameras that was taken a little under an hour ago. The lanes have since reopened. KSAT saying this was the result of an accident, though we're still waiting for official information on exactly what happened. Also new on the Nightbeat, 45 years. That's how long Carlos Portillo will spend in jail for the murder of his wife. You may remember back in January of 2024, police found Portillo outside his apartment covered in blood and his wife inside dead from a gunshot wound. They also found illegal narcotics in Portillo's possession. And through the investigation, it was revealed Portillo's criminal record dated back more than 20 years and included charges of assault and burglary. A warning before this next story. Some may find the video we are about to show you hard to watch. A suspect shot at a Bexar County deputy, a suspect shot at by a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy has been released from a hospital and booked into jail. This is 34-year-old Joshua Garcia. He's charged with unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and evading arrest. We showed you this video earlier today on the news at 5. This happened on Saturday on Dove Drive in southeast Bexar County. In the video, you can see a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy firing several shots into a maroon BMW as the driver inside tries to speed away. BCSO says that car was stolen. It is important to note, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says the driver in that car appeared to back up towards the deputy. However, the video appears to show the car coming to a complete stop. BCSO tells us Garcia was shot 3 times and was treated for minor injuries. The sheriff also added a woman in the passenger seat had minor injuries during the pursuit, but she was not shot. Sheriff Salazar says the deputy who fired their gun has been placed on administrative duty. Turning now to the forecast. After all that recent rain, lots of us are asking, is any more on the way? And I think the short answer is yes, but I'll leave that up to the experts. Sarah?
Yeah, thanks for that, JP. Yes, and there's a huge caveat, though. It will be pretty spotty each day. So I'm going to say you'll maybe win the rainfall lottery occasionally this week, about a 20 to 30% chance each day. It's going to help keep temperatures down. 93 was the high temperature today. That is right where we need to be. That is average for this time of year. But yeah, expect daily downpours. You'll be dodging daily downpours. Coverage will be about 20 to 30% each day. Is there a risk for flooding, though? No, just quick passing showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder. And believe it or not, there are other parts of the nation that oftentimes are a lot cooler than San Antonio. San Antonio is one of the cooler spots on the map. I'm going to show you a look at this heat wave and when we could see triple digits coming up in just a bit.
Thanks.
We're frustrated, we're tired, we're angry that this is Pride Month. It's supposed to be a time that we're celebrating and uplifting our community, and instead we're fighting for resources.
A resource for the LGBTQ plus community will soon be going away. The 988 Suicide Lifeline offers specialized counselors to high-risk groups. The Trump administration has decided to eliminate the option created towards LGBTQ, saying the option has run out of funding. While the general 988 Lifeline will stay in service, San Antonio Pride Center Executive Director Lex Loro says the specialized help is necessary for LGBTQ plus youth.
Oftentimes they're coming from unsupportive homes, environments, or communities, and when they reach out for support, they need affirming, respectful, and knowledgeable service providers.
Loro also wants young people to know there are other places to call for help.
Please still call the Trevor Project. Please still call Trans Lifeline. Please still call the Pride Center and get connection. We will help you with resource navigation.
And we have the contact information for those resources posted over on our website. Just head to KSAT.com and look for this article. You can also scan the QR code on your screen for direct access. And late last night, Governor Greg Abbott vetoed an attempt to ban the THC industry. Marijuana is illegal in Texas, but a loophole that legalized hemp created an industry for THC products that can still get users, quote, high. Senate Bill 3 would have banned the sale of all consumable hemp products except CBD and CBG. Now, Governor Abbott is calling a special session to propose regulating THC, similar to alcohol. That means age restrictions, testing requirements, packaging rules, and permitting something local business and permitting something local businesses say they can get behind.
It's perfect. Yeah, this is what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants.
I don't think any of these will be an issue for us. Like I said, as long as we're still able to sell most of our products to people, we can definitely work around it.
However, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who championed an outright ban, says regulating the industry is essentially the same to legalizing marijuana. Now it's in the hands of the legislators at the special session, which is scheduled for next month. That session will begin July 21st, and along with the THC bill, Governor Abbott says he has a primary list of 5 other vetoes he wants to discuss. That includes laws about water infrastructure, court practices, protections for trafficking victims, and private recording equipment. The governor also vetoed 18 other bills that have not been added to the special session. For a full list of bills the governor approved and vetoed, you can scan the QR code on your screen. It's no secret that loose or stray animals have been an issue in San Antonio. Next on the Nightbeat, in a Know My Neighborhood update, what city leaders are doing to help curb the problem. And we're taking a look at live cam. There's rain chances throughout the week. Sarah Spivey's got you covered on what you need to know. San Antonio city leaders are giving Animal Care Services 33% more money in its budget to get a handle on the city's roaming and dangerous animals problem. It's a problem communities in the east and west side told us about during our Know My Neighborhood segments. 2 new clinics have now opened up in the Las Palmas and the Denver Heights communities this spring. We got a chance to visit with customers at the West Side Clinic. Services include free vaccinations and spay and neuter surgeries. Many of them say we're just getting out quickly about the services.
It's nice that, because there's so many dogs in my neighborhood that I see that are just strays, and they're just having more babies, so it's a good thing.
That as long as you're a citizen of San Antonio, we're going to be able to provide the services at no cost.
With the summer months, ACS wants to warn the community to vaccinate their dogs against parvo and distemper. To make an appointment, head to KSAT.com and search ACS. Happening tomorrow, the first of several community engagement meetings for the proposed Project Marvel. Residents who live in San Antonio City Districts 2, 4, 5, and 7 will have a chance to make their opinions known about the prospect of a new downtown Spurs Arena and the wider sports and entertainment district. There will be more community engagement meetings for other San Antonio City districts in the near future. The Housing Authority of Bexar County is celebrating 50 years of community service by launching a school supply drive to support students in need. They're on a mission to fill 800 backpacks with everything kids need to start the school year off with confidence. The Back to School collection drive runs through July 31st. You can drop off school items at the Housing Authority of Bexar County's main office at 1954 Houston Street or make a purchase through their Amazon wish list. You can also donate money by scanning the QR code on your screen. All the details can be found at KSATcommunity.com. Sarah, it's been a hectic week, what it seems like for you, and tracking all the potential chances.
Well, at least it's not in the triple digits, John Paul. So we've got some things to celebrate. Firstly, again, we are not going to be looking at a triple digit week. In fact, high temperatures just going to be in the low 90s. Really nice. And on top of that, I know we did get a lot of rain a week and a half ago that led to some flooding. But this week, really just daily downpours are going to be possible, 20 to 30% each day, and thankfully no flooding for us because of the nature of these moving, passing showers and storms. As we take a look at clouds and radar across the nation today, there is very clearly a high pressure system right centered over Washington, D.C. This is called a heat dome, and in the summer months, it traps heat like a lid on a pot, sinking air, causing that heat to stay trapped there under that heat dome. And as we look at the heat risk, there's a large heat risk for areas from Columbus to Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and Richmond, Virginia. That's where the risk for heat is extreme tomorrow. Keep in mind that these areas, yes, there's air conditioning out there, of course, but they're not used to heat index values this high. Take a look at the forecast heat index tomorrow and Wednesday. Tomorrow and Wednesday, we're really only going to be seeing a heat index here in San Antonio in the upper 90s. But areas like Washington, D.C., heat index of 111, 105 heat index in Pittsburgh, 6 tomorrow in New York City. It's not every day that New York City feels quite a bit warmer than San Antonio, but that's going to be the case tomorrow. Now, with that heat high off to our east, we do have a low pressure system approaching in from the Gulf of Mexico. This is what's going to allow for us to see 1 or 2 spotty showers throughout the day tomorrow, particularly in the afternoon, because that's when these showers and storms usually get their fuel, in the afternoon hours. You can see that's the case right around 4 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon hours. As we head into Wednesday, once again, we're going to start with clouds, but in the afternoon, a few spotty showers and storms are possible, especially the farther east you go of San Antonio. So what do you need to know this week? 20 to 30% chance each day for you to see rain in your backyard. So odds are it's not going to rain in your backyard every day. The timing would mainly be in the afternoon through about sunset. And we're looking at about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rain at most if you happen to get one of those downpours. Are there any risks? Well, a few outdoor activities could be briefly interrupted, but again, we're not expecting any hail. We're not expecting any flooding or anything like that. As we look at tomorrow's KSAT 12-hour forecast, waking up at 75 and mostly cloudy. By noon, it'll be 87. And in the afternoon, that's when we expect a few of those downpours. I'll be tracking them on the authority radar. 92 for the high tomorrow. It is going to feel a little bit hotter because of the humidity, feeling closer to 100 degrees. But again, it could be a lot worse. Thank goodness we're not in the Northeast tomorrow, as it'll feel like 110 in some neighborhoods. As we take a look at your 7-day forecast, again, highs only in the low 90s. And we've only had 3 100-degree days so far this year, and mostly that happened in May. So again, we are looking pretty good as far as a mid-June forecast goes, John Paul.
South Texas cooler than the Northeast.
Pretty impressive.
I'm not going to complain about that at all. Thanks for that, Sarah. And as things are getting hot or are hot in the Northeast, things are really heating up in the NBA draft, and that's also happening in New York.
Yeah, you think you know what's going to happen around the 1, 2, 3 picks, but you really never know. Hoping for some chaos in this year's draft. And the draft is on Wednesday. Our coverage, though, beginning today with sports director Larry Ramirez out in Brooklyn. He's getting us ready coming up. Plus, it's been 20 years since the Spurs 05 title. Good for the franchise's 3rd ring. We relive the magic with Devin Brown after the break. Last night, an NBA champion was crowned. Here was the scene in OKC after the Thunder captured their first title in franchise history. And now we already are shifting our focus to Brooklyn, New York, where the NBA's top prospects are arriving for the 2025 NBA draft, like the projected #1 pick, Cooper Flagg. The first round begins Wednesday, live right here on KSAT 12, and the second round wraps up on Thursday. Now, the last few weeks have been pretty telling for the San Antonio Spurs. They were tempted with the opportunity to acquire Kevin Durant in a trade after the 2-time NBA champion named San Antonio as one of his preferred destinations. However, Durant has since been traded from the Suns to the Rockets. And the Spurs never seemed to flinch in that process, showing their loyalty to the #2 and #14 overall picks. Let's send it to sports director Larry Ramirez, who is out east, getting us ready for the draft. Larry?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary. You know what? Brooklyn is quickly becoming my home away from home because this is the 4th straight year that we've been here to cover the NBA draft, which is going down at the Barclays Center once again. And the Barclays is about 1 mile from where we are right now. And what a cool feeling it is to be inside the Barclays when NBA Commissioner Adam Silver calls the Spurs draft pick. In 2022, Jeremy Sohan was the Spurs' first selection. The following year, Victor Wembanyama went #1 overall to the Spurs, and that was awesome. Last year, Stephon Castle was the Spurs' first choice, and this year, former Rutgers guard Dylan Harper is expected to go #2 overall to the Silver and Black. Here's a cool YouTube short of Harper's pre-draft workout.
Trying to sharpen up my handle and my shot, finish and stuff like that, and just get in the best shape I can for the next level. We just taking every day like a professional, like during my workouts, like push through the tiredness, stuff like that, and just really just mentally going through your day like never too high, never too low, is what my mom say. So just always keeping that mentality. A lot of running, a lot of strength and conditioning, P3 right around the corner. So I mean, just getting my body strong, ready, just because it's a physical game. Like I see in the playoffs, it's get real physical. So just gotta get my body and just mentally prepared for that.
You know, Mary, he seems very mature for a 19-year-old. Now, tomorrow, Harper and several other top prospects will have a media avail in Manhattan, and we will be there. Mary, back to you. That's all from Brooklyn.
All right, thank you so much, Larry. Well, on this day in 2005, the Spurs captured their third NBA championship by defeating the Pistons 81-74 in a rare Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Tim Duncan was named Finals MVP that year. Former UTSA star and Spur Devin Brown knew Tim as well as anyone, recalling those days that they were locker mates.
I was his locker mate, both at the practice facility and at the at downtown at the big arena. Okay. And so, you know, for me, yeah, seeing the side of him that nobody sees was very special. But the one thing I will say about Tim is that he was really focused. You know, everybody says he's quiet, but you know, he was really focused on, you know, yes, they paid him a lot of money to do his job, but he was very serious about it. Sure. And one of the things that sticks out to me is just the fact that he came in every day wanting to work, wanting to practice. And, you know, that was on the staff, you know, holding him out of practice, sitting him down, because he wanted to be out there every moment. And when you're around, you know, a person like that, it's going to rub off on you.
All right, well, after the break, the Thunder showing no signs of slowing down after winning their first title in OKC.